At least during the fight, you won't be needing to think about it, because if there is a arena drop down, the Spirit Breaker cannot charge through the arena. It's actually something that you should always stop the charge through, because if you're going through the arena, you end up in the arena but not charging any longer. You
Only
bang
10
into the wall,
seconds.
and the shields from the Mars push you into the arena, and you're just stuck there, not
Yep.
being
5
able to do
seconds
anything.
remain.
Obviously, you cannot charge away from it. Of course, unless you have a BKB. But the lone druid comes out from Geek Fam. We've only seen one lone druid, at least you and me.
Radiance
And
ban.
it didn't work out yesterday on Palos. So I'm kind of looking forward to this one doing better. And when you look at the burst damage from Spawn, they don't really have that much unless the Morphling is involved. So I'm expecting the lone druid to live for a long time in this game.
Yeah, there's only two Lone Druid
10
games.
seconds
Yeah,
to
like
pick.
the one you mentioned on Palos, which was a loss and a victory for In Your Dream.
5 seconds.
So
Hurry.
only
Okay.
two
Hurry.
Lone Druid picks in this entire tournament, and one ban added into the
Dyer's
mix.
ban.
Lone Druid Enigma, high win percentage duo. It was supposed to be as well in the loss where Palos lost with it, but it
Yep.
still doesn't change the fact that these two heroes synergize really well together.
Yeah, demos definitely do. Enigma doesn't need much help until the
10
time
seconds
where
to pick.
the lone druid kind of comes online. So it does make sense
Yep.
that they're going to be doing well. Plus, you have the Mirana and
5
the Spirit
seconds.
Breaker
Hurry.
to roam the
Hurry.
map and constantly give you info and possibly set up for kills. So, yeah, I'm liking Geek Fam's lineup. Plus, Scam is just a beast, man. He has the biggest hero pool I have ever seen. He plays all of the heroes on 5. Plays all of the heroes on 1. Just the flexibility of this guy is insane.
He has played six six
Radiance
unique
ban.
heroes. That means every game he has had a new one, and he will continue the trend. Seventh
Yep.
game, seventh hero. You are right about that. Still jumping back to the Enigma, I like the idea of Aether Lens this game because how Lone Druid deals damage is basically on
Only 10
on targets that are
seconds.
running away most of the time early on in the game. Malefice is a great tool
5
for that
seconds
because
remain.
it's a several instant stun, and every time they're sitting still, that means an extra hit will come out from the bear, and that increases your chances of root, and you can lock down someone permanently if you get the root timed between the stun ticks.
Oh, you think maybe we see an Enigma go for
Dire
Wraith
team
Pact,
are now
Ether Lens
picking.
Shard build? Could be an approach considering you're playing against the Rubik.
Could be, you kind of ignore the fact that the black hole is your best ability and just use Malefice as your main tool. So even if it is a lone cooldown ability, Malefice would be
10
really
seconds to
really
pick.
strong. I don't think you necessarily want to
5 seconds.
buy the
Hurry.
shard.
Hurry.
If you get another damage dealer into the lineup, you can focus on Roche control above spawn team and then get it through there. But it just might lead into a point where, well, you have Wraith Pact now. What do I build next? I could think about Aether Lens, Blink, BKB, and if I have to, the shard needs to be bought, and somebody else is going to pick it up in the team. Because Lone Druid shard is also really good.
Most definitely. So spawn team, they need someone who's gonna be finishing off kills. The Puck and the Batrider are taken out. Something that will be able to fight around the Mars. Also, there's no Ember Spirit. The Void Spirit and the Storm aren't that great in the meta currently. I don't even know what's left for them to go for. They'll go for the Storm.
Storm mid safe morph. Mars C and Mars. Or Mars C5 with Morphling. Actually, Mars C Morphling. Rubik Mars. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the ones they're
Only
looking
10
for.
seconds.
Though, it wouldn't surprise me if the
5
Marcy lanes
seconds
with the Mars,
remain.
just because Rubik is okay against the Eidolons, and Mars with the Marcy with the God's Rebuke plus the sidekick, you heal way too much. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be bad either way how they decide to lane it. Yeah, but it's natural to assume it is gonna be a melee and the range hero in a lane together.
Like, you do want to have sidekick from Morphling early on with the lifesteal before he has Morbid Mask, so that the Morphling can lane better. But this is not really... Is this a Linken's game for Morph? In that case, you
Yeah,
could swap the lanes and just get Ring of Health instead.
I think so. I think it is just because of the
All right.
charge.
Let's see what the damage
Yeah,
is.
it definitely
Also
looks
here
like a
we
Linken's
haven't
game.
seen. Also here we haven't seen for a long time the Queen of Pain, but I think it's a direct response to the Storm. You didn't really have much to deal with the Storm Spirit itself, but now you bully him in the lane. Queen of Pain does that, and you have a Spirit Breaker, which is gonna be a position for a Spirit Breaker that is always gonna be threatening at least until the Storm gets the level 6. So you find a good angle with Narman, and if Cox has gotten Poda too low, the Storm isn't gonna have a good time. I'm trying to think here. Spawn team, I just don't see much that this Storm provides. I think they just picked it because they had nothing else to go for, and it just doesn't seem like a greatest pick for me. I think this is gonna be the weakness of the Spawn draft that GeekFam exploits.
Could be. I kind of see it the same way as you do. Like the timing is kind of iffy. Your supports are at least good to help Storm Spirit get kills, but in most of the time you want to have defensive supports who don't necessarily even go for a kill, but just keep the Storm Spirit alive a bit longer. Marcy can end up dying a couple times to the Queen of Pain, attempting to kill the hero instead of just saving the Storm Spirit's lane. So it just could be one of those games where your supports are griefing your mid laner instead of the other way around.
I'm just not sure about the Storm pick. I think I don't want to say Spawn team don't have a chance because they obviously do. Their side lanes are quite strong, so losing the mid lane wouldn't be that big of an issue. But the Storm Spirit, I'm not sure how he's gonna find impact in this game. Of course, if you survive through the laning phase, all is well. But I think before he's level 6, he's gonna be targeted so much that the difference will be huge.
One thing I have to point out right away is I love the starting items on the Enigma, where you have a Sage Mask to kick off your lane. It's like a player-based option of, do I go for like this one mango? Do I get a clarity, which I use right away after I eat the first creep? Do I focus on pieces of Null Talisman, get myself mono regen that way? Or just Sage Mask towards the Wraith Pact, which is always a good idea to have, because you're building it in like 75 to 80% of the games anyway.
It seems like it is gonna be a safe lane Rubik, so they do prefer the Fade Bolt over the Marcy with them, and they prefer the sidekick on Mamang Daya, and it does make sense because Rubik doesn't really help you that much against the Lone Druid. It's never certain that you're gonna connect the Fade Bolt on both the bear and the hero, so the last hits from Scam are not gonna suffer from it.
Narman already going aggressive here for the other bounty rune. See if he wants to stay around. He is going to charge on Poda 2, forcing the charge to be leveled up. It's that early poke there. Make sure that the bounty goes their way, and Skem finds a very late bounty rune for himself with the bear. Seems like nobody else was around for it, so he just grabs it for himself. Mirana also hasn't leveled up anything yet. No arrow, no Starstorm.
Usually people go with the Starstorm. You're just not sure in this lane. In particular, arrow you possibly don't need, but you're not sure if maybe you're going to be needing the leap early on. Not going to be the case. I think you just go for the Starstorm.
You would want to. The early poke, the harass is nice.
And it has the...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I was like, it's just good at 1v1s, but the Marcy's probably just going to be sitting more in the lane instead of outside of it.
Yeah, most likely. Narman started with a charge, so I think the idea there is he's not really gonna be running all career.
He's faster.
Poor little beaver.
5 movement speed faster. The great chase. Look at this beaver. Oh no, he fell off his bike. Hits a little stone on the road and tumbles.
But Narman cannot really trade too much. I guess the idea with this lane on top is just make sure that Force gets as much out of it at the start, so that Narman is allowed to move around, especially towards the mid lane. So usually it can hurt you if you don't have the greater bash level 1, because you can't trade properly, and the hero is actually really good at trading. But it works out quite well because you have an Enigma.
Cox is constantly spamming this level 2 Shadow Strike onto Pota 2. Making this a bit annoying for the Storm Spirit to lane against the constant tick damage. He can time his bottles between ticks. But still, it's going to slow him down, especially the early movement speed slow. A bit annoying.
But he's doing a good job. He actually has 15 CS compared to the 10 of the Queen. Of course, Queen has 2 creeps more here to last it.
Oof.
But Pota 2 has been doing a stellar job.
Bottom lane, that was the wrong dispose. He rebounds on top of the Lone Druid, and then he disposes the bear by accident, so they weren't able to even hit the Lone Druid, which was probably their goal. But now they're going to try it on the Mirana. Mirana's jump just get cancelled by the first bonk, and has to use a second leap to get to safety.
That's big. You're forcing out leaps. The cooldown is way too high. And the cooldown of the spells of Mamang Daya and Dalol just not that much.
Yeah. And no
They have
Starstorm.
mangoes as well.
Not getting to use it because the Marcy's just sitting in the lane, so we'll go for the arrow instead. There's the sidekick, lot of regen from Mamang Daya. Spear comes out, Lone Druid punished for Skem to fall, and a follow-up as Roger dies as well.
Okay, they underestimated the amount of heal that the Marcy and the Mars can do. Considering that it is something that is being played in the Southeast Asia region, I'm surprised that Geek Fam allowed this kind of mistake to go through. You always have one extra target as well because of the bear there, and that's Scam not having a resummon for 20 seconds. Not the biggest of deals, but you cannot go on the Mars unless you arrow him.
Beautiful play there from Force, getting the multiplied or duplicated Eidolons, the Dolans, with the Malefice ticks, just enough damage to squeeze in between. Armin, he is charging towards mid to the Storm Spirit. That's for the 4-minute water rune. Meanwhile, the Lull is instead killed by Roger and Skem with the bear. Mamang Daya forced away from the lane. And Cox able to take one water rune. Armin is protecting the other. Travens, unable to get there, but he is there with the bottle refill for Pota straight from the fountain.
Was a very dangerous situation for the Lone Druid. He was getting low, and while getting low, he resummoned the bear. So, a couple of more hits
Risky.
could have cost him his life. Could have cost him his life, and then it would have been a disastrous start for the game for Scam. Now it's actually okay in terms of CS. He's doing well, and they do get a kill on goal.
Yeah, him getting the assist and getting to stay alive a bit longer, almost killing the Mars in the process, getting the lane to open up. Indeed, that is a risky move. Could have backfired horribly, but it turned out for the better. Jacroy dealing with Eidolons here. He's maxed out on Agi. And has to battle it out with Force's Eidolons one by one. They're about to expire though, so all this hard work Jacroy's doing is only for 2 CS. While Force gets the lane for himself. Enigma he's doing a great time. He's gonna be a very big Enigma, not gonna lie.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's also big if
Maybe they can get the morph here. He does get the strength morph out. He's got waveform and 10 stick charges, but
it's okay.
they're doing the right thing. They're doing the right thing here in this lane. Every time they don't have a support in the lane, they can just pop Malefice and start poking.
The way you use this Enigma, what I was going for, is you are probably going to get the night vision on the Spirit Breaker, and you're going to keep tabs in the Rubik. If the storm jumps in, you just always use the black hole on him, and that's how you deal with him, considering that Pota 2 actually had a really good time in the laning phase.
Yeah, Storm has come out with shining colors out of the, despite all the harass that he's been taking. Enjoying his time. Cox on the bottom half of the river. Narman just securing if it's going to be there, but nothing to be found. Storm went all the way back to the fountain, and that is a level 5 Storm, so no rotation available either, unless somebody is overcommitting. And he's just going to TP straight back to mid, so this Storm will not be rotating for a while.
Oh, they have the opportunity to kill him, but they have to do it right now. This range creep might actually die. There it is. There's the go.
Level 5 still. Armin tanking damage. Sonic Wave flying through. Pota 2. No level 6. No luck. No nothing. And he will fall down. Oh, 31 experience from level 6. Beautifully timed. The time he spent walking back home allowed Quop to get level 6. And with the Sonic Wave, that's a kill. Has the regen rune, but it's also cancelled out by Travens as he blinks in aggressively.
Yep. He didn't even use the Shadow Strike on the Rubik there. But yeah, very big kill from Geek Fam. The Storm got a bit greedy. He thought, okay, the 2 creeps are gonna die. But just beautifully done from Geek Fam. They also used the glyph just in case, even though it looked like the Storm was gonna die, just in case, so the creeps don't die under the tower, and he gets himself out.
Force is also getting closer to level 6. Jacroy not too far behind. The Dolans multiplied doing damage. Malif is thrown in again, but he is giving a lot of the CS to the Morphling now. And with minimal effect. Kind of a downside here playing against the Morphling. Usually Enigmas don't have a great time against the Morphling because you can't really deal with the hero alone. And Spirit Breaker's been roaming around the map for quite some time, helping out their mid lane, and this tower almost completely gone too.
You want it dead, and this is a time where Geek Fam could overextend because you really want that tower to fall, but it's not that important for it to happen right now. So if you overextend, the big rotation from spawn can kill
Marcy
you.
coming in. There's the jump in from Pota 2. He's gonna find the Quap. Fox is gonna be taking on a heavy early nuke here. No Sonic Wave. There's the disposal rebound in as well. Roger gonna fall first. Norman on the runaway. Spawn defend their tower. Get a kill along the sides of that. These supports have been sitting in mid for a very long time too, and losing one of them in the process does hurt Geek Fam a bit.
Still, Storm has no mana. You go for it right now. If you're Geek Fam to finish that tower, you know that Pota 2 is going to be coming back soon, and you want to be able to take it. That's why both Dalil and Travis are staying around the mid lane to assist here, because, okay, the tower is gone. It's just gone.
There's the cliff. Storm is now getting bottle refills. He's got to be quick with this one. He might just TP aggressively right in front of them, but the tower is about to drop. He's actually going into the tree line, hoping to get lucky with it. There is the rebound. There's Travis joining in the fight as well. Spirit Breaker isolated and canceling his charge as well. Beautiful play there. Instant telekinesis lift as he's about to get out of there, and Pota 2 with the kill, but that is their mid tower gone.
And it was also pretty easy to do. He was slowed down from the dispose. He was slowed down from the overload. And he basically wasn't moving. He's like, I'm charging. And no, you're not. So, Spawn, they do get themselves a kill. But it does come at a huge cost. That mid lane tower is something that should have been protecting them for far longer. Now, once the Spirit Breaker has his level 10, and that's probably going to be during the next nighttime, it becomes dangerous.
There's a charge onto Mamang Daya. Skem already sending in the bear first. Roger coming in as well. Narman, that's a very slow level 1 charge. So Mars with face boots. Too fast. Too furious.
Mars is also a hard hero to connect with the charge. Both of his spells can stop you in your tracks if he uses them properly. And it's very easy to do so. So Spirit Breaker there, he understood. They were hoping for a route from the bear in the trees and an arrow fall up, then the charge lands them the kill.
Yep.
It didn't happen.
Pota 2 has grabbed himself a regen rune. He's gonna ramp up and farm. Level 4 remnant spam. And the ball lightnings that he could just keep on going. Mud golems are going to be a bit of an issue, though, with their magical resistance. Going to take a bit of time with this camp. However, 3 heroes to the top lane. Force with Black Hole. Level 4 Dolans on the push. Jacroy is their target. They just need to get the charge, and there's the strength gain coming in for the Morphling, but he's now maxed out at 2.5k. They could have killed him. They don't want to use the Black Hole. I actually could have used stick charges to regenerate. I would have gone for it.
The tower is more important. You get the tower, you can dive the morph. While the tower is there, you understand the dangers. So yeah, I'm gonna say that was the safer play. Not sure if it was the right one, considering they saw the Rubik on the bottom lane where they have vision. I was like, okay, they don't see the Rubik, so it's kind of scary. He's gonna take the Black Hole, but no, they had perfect vision over him, so they could have done it.
Roger also TP's bottom to take down the catapult. They've rotated on the Lone Druid. He's turned into his true form. But he is slowly falling in and into his death. He does have a fresh bear once he respawns in 30 seconds. And Dalal with Unleash, looking for targets to hit. Nobody around. Cox and Norman living on the safe side. Force has finished his Wraith pack. Now I want to see what he goes next.
structures are
This is good for Spawn, actually. Even though you lost your mid lane tower and the top lane tower, Mamangda is having a beautiful game. So he is going to have a blink fairly soon. That means Storm Spirit, he's going to have a lot of backup when jumping into a fight. That's a stolen Moonlight Shadow.
Under a sentry too, but do they have the vision for it? It's a surprise jump in. Roger to blow up right away. Narman getting disposed. Forces here. Runs out of mana for the black hole again, but might be able to use it with his stick charges. He wants Spawn to get a bit closer. Jikroy is here. There's the Wraith Pact, which they want to protect. Travis is already starting to poke it, down a half HP. And the Dolan's in the front line. Force is there to protect it. All his buddies sitting in the back. Mirana is going to be spawning right now. But no fight available. They're still stacking bottom with 4 heroes.
They have to smoke. The 3 of them will smoke and they'll leave the Enigma there. That's how you do it. You just need to get yourself away from that one and hoping that Spawn are going to be bringing heroes to the bottom lane so that you can jump them from the side or in their triangle.
At least that will buy time for the Lone Druid to farm. The lull in a prime position to pop the smokes, but they have found Travens, and that reveals their ward instantly pinged out. Rubik to die. And that was a support kill, but your ward is gonna be removed. They did place a second one on the edge of the stairs, so I believe once they get the D ward out, do they suspect there's another ward there?
I mean, they will suspect that one immediately, to be honest. That's the first one that I would check if I was a support player. I wouldn't really believe that was the one on the hill.
They pinged they pinged the cliff though. As the charge was happening, when they saw the charge on the Rubik, they were like, yeah, they have vision here. And since he was standing so far behind, they just pinged the cliff instantly. And it is dewarded, it's gone. Or did it even expire?
It expired.
Yeah.
It expired right now. So you place a sentry, you're gonna see that one. And you're gonna see that it isn't there, and you're gonna find this one.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Unlucky. So is the Enigma. Nowhere to go. Only dropping down and trying to juke around. He's like, alright, you can take me, leave Narman alone. And Narman does not get the chance to charge away. Meanwhile, Poda 2 arrow is gonna miss from Roger. Cox is gonna be killed by Poda 2. Yes, he can take it. Tips coming in. Those are from his allies. They're like, good job, great play.
This is looking really bad for Geek Fam. The farm distribution between the heroes of Spawn is perfect. The Storm and the Mars have the gold, and they're gonna be the ones that are creating space. I have to commend Travens in this game. He's always somewhere in the vicinity of the Enigma, so you can't go for a black hole to kill one of these super farmed heroes. So everything is working out for Spawn currently. The Morphling will have enough space to do whatever he wants, and once he gets the Lincolns, it's gonna be much easier for him to stand anywhere on the map.
Yeah, that's what the Rubik is just waiting for. Just gimme that good spell. Not looking like a game where he's getting it though. Have to wait a long time. It's so annoying to play an Enigma against the Rubik, because then you have to itemize yourself with 1 BKB so he can't lift you, 2 a Lincoln so he can't steal Black Hole from you.
Yeah, and if you go that route, until you get there, every single item that you get, it's pretty much useless.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
That's
why
we'll see what he decides.
That's why Wraith Pact is such a good escape route. Because you're buffing up your team without putting yourself in a position where you might grief the team. Porta 2 finds a Mirana in the top lane meanwhile. There's a quick pick off for him. Very squishy hero to blow up. Spawn with a 2k lead now.
They even saved the ward. It was 1 hit from the Eidolons killing it, and they warded the enemy sentry. So that ward is still gonna persist. And with the Mars and the Storm being on the top part of the map, no one can come to deward it because they're just gonna die. Storm in trouble.
Fight in the river. Able to get this one. Cox gets some revenge. The last time he died in a 1 versus 1. Now he brings his friends with him. We'll make it a 3 versus 1.
That was the greed. That was the greed from the Storm. It's not gonna cost them only the Storm, but all of this top lane positioning. If him and the Mars stayed in the jungle and farmed, anyone who would come close would be in trouble. And now this Spirit Breaker is gonna start wreaking havoc on the map.
Yeah, and they will kill the lull as well. Charge to connect. Scam on the chase, and with the dagger slow.
Might be fine.
He's still very slow. But Skem doesn't want to go on the chase anymore. As soon as he sees that Marcy's jumped away, there's someone else in the area. Storm is gonna jump in, though. He wants to put some revenge onto Skem here. Down to 1,000 HP. Norman charging, getting a second chance to blow up the lull. Where's your bash is? Where's your bash is? Gets pushed away by the lull. Might end up dying himself. Yes, he will. Skem falls as well. And so, looks like Cox is in trouble. Blink in 1 second. Able to jump away just in time. But that was so frustrating for Norman. He charges in, gets the initial damage out. That's blocked by the raindrops. And then the moment he wants to hit, he gets disposed, so his attack animation is cancelled. And when he finally does, he's not getting any bashes out.
Yeah, the only way that he was gonna get that kill was with the bash. That's why, I mean, with the Spirit Breaker, the idea of this hero isn't damage. It's to provide lockdown around your cores. And Narman, he got greedy for the kill, and he allowed his backline to stay defenseless there. I'm not sure how much he would have changed, but, you know, maybe a lucky bash, maybe a couple of more hits would have come out there. Would have been different, though. Geek Fam, as soon as they stopped chasing, they knew there was someone there in the trees. That's why they didn't continue, and they still stayed.
And they still stayed. Yeah, that's the big mistake that they made. It feels like a mistake you shouldn't be making, but sometimes the greed gets the best of us. We're only human after all.
They were coming back to the fact, okay, the enemies probably have a vision back there, so we're not going to be running into their vision, but they will not jump on us because the Mars is low. But that's not the case. As we mentioned, the Mars and the Storm both having good games means that they can constantly fight, especially the Mars. Storm doesn't really mind jumping in and dying. That's pretty much something that they came into terms with once they picked it. I was talking about Storm having a good game, but just like that, in a span of 3 minutes, he came from position 2 to position 6.
Yeah, but the margins are still fairly small between them. But that is true. The Storm Spirit did kind of throw a big advantage away where he could have continued snowballing. Now he's come to a bit of a halt. And desperate for more kills. At least he's got buddies to help him out this time. They will finish off Roger and looking for more. He's hungry. He burnt his entire mana pool just to chase down Norman next to the creep wave and getting blocked as well. 4-step forward, gets to slow. The Witchblade slow is there too. Another rebound from Delol, giving some extra movement speed for the Storm. And Travens secures it with the Fate Bolt.
Nicely done there. You can see Spawn, always either they have a Rubik in the smoke or they're running to the Rubik with the smoke. Because they want him to be in the backlines when the fight does start. It just creates an impossible situation for Geek Fam where they cannot go for a full 5-on-5 because you're gonna lose. The arena is the only big spell on the other side when it comes to team fight. You have a black hole, but if you use it, the enemies are gonna have it as well.
They're sitting up in mid, thinking about the Mars jump. But Travens also shows himself directly. Gets the lift out on Marana, low ground push. There's one leap used, and there's the stun coming in after the fruit follow-up. RC to fall, and that is a Desolator Bear dealing some damage. And Narman charges in forward for another arrow. So close to catching Poda. And there's the arena. Allows him to disengage. Cox is out of it. Will nuke down Travens. Poda 2 with a haste rune. He's out of there. Oh my goodness, how close was that arrow?
Oh man, when he saw it, he couldn't zip away any longer. The animation would just keep him in place long enough for the arrow to hit. Luckily for him, he did have a haste rune. Without that haste rune, he just dies. Yeah. He gets arrow, and that's another kill that goes into the hands of Geek Fam. Still, the big target is the Roche, and that's the one that Spawn just don't have the resources currently to stop.
And this Aegis will be secured. Gonna go for Skem. Skem having a second life. Despite it all being about the bear for the time being, at least he can come back to life, spawn another. Hopefully it works out, but he would like to stay safe. It will give it is a bit of a farming Aegis for him.
If you die with an Aegis, the bear does not die, so it remains alive.
Oh, it
so
actually remains alive. Yeah,
that's also pretty big. So, you know, plus you're killing you in the true form very hard, and now they've put it so that if you die while going for the transformation, it doesn't go on cooldown.
Jacroy jump here by Scam. Roger Cox actually trying to get the finish off move here, but the Lincolns is still up on Jacroy. Unfortunately for them, not a kill. Morphling, he is at minimal HP, turns into a Queen of Pain. Has the blink available. Among Daya trying to get a beautiful 3-man stun into the black hole. Wombo combo, baby! They're gonna take them all. Among Daya to fall. Travis is gonna get nuked in the back line as well. Cox, 1 more second for the blink. He's just gonna chase in the old school way. Scream him down. 4 heroes dead.
That's Narman's fight, the one he won because of the charge. He stopped the initiation from Mars. He couldn't even get the BKB off. Rubik was still in a good position, but not good enough. But like the plays from the teams there, they were so amazing. GeekFam, they knew after the morph got out that they're in a bad position. So they're like, we have to bail, we have to bail. And they smoke up, but Spawn smoke up as well. If GeekFam hadn't smoked and went to the high ground and were caught on the lane with Scam, this would be a completely different fight. So both teams understanding each other's weaknesses, or let's say GeekFam understanding their own and Spawn understanding the one from GeekFam, and both of them kind of try to capitalize on it. In the end, it does go GeekFam's way.
Yeah, very good surprise element here. Kind of pulling an anti-strat on the opponent, and both of them actually doing the opposite. Well, the other team doing the opposite of what they were supposed to. Now we're going to get another fight inside the arena next to the tier 1 tower. Mamang Daya going to get stunned up by the Malefice once again. Scam holding his ground. The bear doing damage. The Mars is about to drop. He BKBs, but it's to no avail. They will kill off Cox though, which goes to Jacroy. Jacroy on the Morphling still unkilled. Despite being close to dying a couple of times. He's trying to charge in. Lincoln's popped by the Malefice. Charge coming in from the Spirit Breaker. Narman going very deep in, but the Bear's going to be helping him out. Arrow comes in as well, but it hits an illusion, and they might just be able to take down Narman. Maybe even more. Storm's getting rooted up on the spot. Skim holding his ground. Roger going to get charged by Jacroy, and that might just be another Mirana kill going for Jacroy. And onto the Enigma they go. He's defenseless. He has nothing to fight back with.
The problem in this fight is that the Lone Druid resummoned the bear way too early, and then his bear took too much damage. It was Skem's fault. He was constantly just clicking with his bear.
It was Skem's fault.
Yeah, because he ran into the arena wall with his bear like 10 times. That's the only reason his first bear died. Because I'm not sure he wasn't paying attention or what the problem was, but still the bear there took way too much damage, more than should have happened for sure.
I just love how casually you just go like, yeah, it's Skem's fault. But if you word it differently, I think we'll still get the same result. That he definitely pulled up a bit of a mistake there with the bear resummon, and yeah, GeekFam losing the fight there, even despite having the Aegis. The Aegis is still with them, but it's gonna expire in a minute. They have Black Hole in 10 seconds though, so I wouldn't be too surprised if they smoke up and push their advantage with this Aegis. But they're all pushed in every single lane. They have to get them out of the way first before stacking up, so they're in a hurry.
I was about to say it's nighttime, and then I look at Norman doesn't have the talent for night vision.
Nice BKB from Among Daya. Still gets bashed up by Skem. Pops down the arena. Teleports away. He's inside the wall, so the bear can't get to him. The big bad bear held away.
It still is a BKB pop. Now Spawn, they have to smoke to get themselves into a good position where they're not going to be caught by surprise. Because now it is time where the Rubik can actually be caught by the...
Charge on the low.
And then the
nice 2-man stun again from Narman. Quality. That is Pota 2 down. Delol fighting with Unleash, doing minimal damage to Cox. And Quap will fight this one through.
While this was happening, Jacroy did secure the tower and bot. This is a problem. The Morphling is ways ahead of everyone else. The thing though is, GeekFam, if they kill the Rubik, they can just black hole the Morphling once the BKB is up, and it's gonna be there fairly soon. And we're seeing that Rubik is always a sitting duck. They're going for him once again.
Okay, Sonic Wave stolen by Travis to push Spirit Breaker away, canceling the charge. Courier having some difficulties trying to catch up to Rubik. Rubik is running faster. And yeah, Jacroy shows up from the jungle. He's been farming here for a bit. Just shows up to kill Narman casually.
Wasn't that the territory that I was controlling? That's how now Narman felt like he's coming from my base. How is that happening? But yeah,
Yeah, it's
Jacroy
like-
has been here for a very long time,
Your map, my map.
for sure.
Economy's tight though. Just if we neglect the Morphling's lead.
Yeah, it definitely is. But the Morphling is way too scary, especially now with the Scotty. The heals from the Lone Druid aren't that high. Now you can focus down the Lone Druid easily. If you saw in the previous fight, Scam gets low. In 3 seconds, the bear heals him up. With the Scotty, that's not gonna be possible. So just jumping in on the Lone Druid, killing him, the constant output of damage of the Geek Fam is gone, and then the Morphling can go ham. The other 4 he can kill alone.
Stupendous.
Just saw an enchanted quiver drop for spawn team. And it's for the Storm Spirit. Gets a nice extra bit of burst.
That makes sense. You want to jump in with the storm hit for the Witchblade and jump out so that you don't die immediately. And this actually allows you to do even more damage. So you can jump in and out a bit. He does get the Sanjin Kaya now, so the stuns aren't going to be lasting as long. But I think if one stun connects on the storm and no one takes the arrow, it's just Pota 2 dead.
Shadows take us. Haste.
Stacking up in the mid lane area. Dalul crossing the river. Jacroy returning back to his side of the map. Cox has a haste rune active. Let's see what this Quap can scout out. Skems Bear. Basher, Deso, Mask of Madness. Starting to build into an AC. Also has a Hyperstone already on the bottom.
The bear is big. If the bear is allowed to attack the Morphling, like 1 versus 1, it's gonna do massive amounts of damage. But that is the thing. Spawn, they have only one real target in this game. It's the Lone Druid. You have 4 heroes to commit onto him, and then the Rubik just to prevent the black hole from going out. So a lot of it is gonna be revolving around this Rubik. If the Rubik dies, then Spawn can't really commit.
Yeah. Well, Norman is way out of that bottom lane. Getting surprised by Pota 2 there. Wasn't expecting him to actually die there. But nobody around to help him out. Bottom lane seems like a scary place to be, especially when Spawn is controlling this entire area. Like, even if they don't have the vision, GeekFam is like, this is a no-go zone. We just can't access this area safely, so I think the lane also is a deadly place to be in. Mamang Daya in the front. If they can find Scam, they're just walking past him. Maybe if they see the Ancients, no, they're going top. But there is a Queen of Pain sitting under a scan. Let's see which
Cox.
way they go. Cox to the lane. If he shows there his history, and beautiful jump with the arena, but just doesn't quite get the block down on Cox, and Cox is going to be out of there.
That's the worst timing for the illusion rune. He went for a TP away, and the illusions just spawned at that time it expired.
Right,
and
so
it just
cancelled
canceled his
it.
TP. Imagine if you went for a BKB TP out next to the opponent's like haha, and then his TP gets cancelled. That would have been very unfortunate. So at least it's better this way.
Yeah, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Game design can sometimes screw you up. 30-minute action rune. It is for Jacroy with an invis, and he's going to stack with his team while GeekFam is smoking up. Do they have any idea? Nobody's defending the top tower. Scam's going to show up there with the bear.
The smoke idea was genius, but the smoke was too slow because of what happened with the illusions. That's just how it is. He dodged the smoke of the enemies. They knew they were top. He TPs, they smoke immediately, and during your retreat, you get caught and you die. But because he took so long to connect with his team, like 10-15 seconds more, it gives enough time for Spawn to go through all of the jungle, farm it up, and actually come back to the mid lane into a position where it's tougher for GeekFam to initiate.
I have to say that even though it hasn't felt like it's super back and forth, the game is very even, and you wouldn't expect less from these two teams.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I still can't help the feeling that the vision, the night vision from Narman would have changed so much in this game. And it is gonna change that they don't have it. Because now Travens has a Blink Dagger. That's a big item that came out for Spawn. So it's gonna be very easy for him to to position himself against the Enigma.
It is a big benefit for sure. And they probably, not sure if they've looked at the talents of this Spirit Breaker, but they're suspecting, since you know it too well by heart, like what talents players are going for and which specific heroes. You can always look it up by just holding the scoreboard down and check what talents they have. But if they don't do that, they're suspecting the Spirit Breaker always has the night vision advantage, so you play accordingly.
Yep.
It's just a habit thing. You know, you get muscle memory on specific things, and that's something that you just learn to live with. It's, okay, they have superior vision to us. So, probably know about it. BKB popped by Cox, forced out by Jacroy. That's big.
It is big. Now for
8
for
seconds.
at least those 90 seconds, you cannot fight properly with Cox. And this is your backline killer, the one that deals with the Rubik. So Spawn can go towards the Roche pit. They know that there's not going to be an issue there, because if you just keep Rubik out, you're fine.
Gonna make some short work out of this Roshan. You gotta act fast. This Geek Fam. Arrow flies into the pit. It's gonna catch the Morphling. Mamang Daya. Very nice with the zoning ulti, keeping them away. They have to take a wraparound route inside the Roche pit. And there's the Morphling. He's gonna get feared up as well. Down at half HP. Gonna take him down. He's gonna get Morph out as well. He's gonna start healing up, and he's almost down. Black Hole comes in as well. And this one is sent in from Travis. Travis, though, ends up actually going down. And Force will get the live throughout. And back in onto the backline. Quap dropping low. Pota 2. He's low as well. Cox will get the kill. Narmata fighting against Mamang Daya. And the Mars. He's got nothing left. He can poke them away, but he's slowly gonna die. And that's gonna be Geek Fam scoring multiple kills. And they keep everyone alive on their team. The illusions ain't enough to kill off this Marana. Jikroy sends another one in there, but it's not gonna finish off the job. Aegis taken for Skem out of all things. He's got the shard too.
So many big things happened in that fight. The arrow into the Morphling definitely being the biggest one, but he almost died there because of that arrow. He was morphing into agility. Scam came over. He used the Savage Roar, and then the bash came out like 0.1 second after the Savage Roar ended, and the morph got the attribute shift off. If it came out just a second earlier, the previous hit, the morph would have just died, and it would have been an even bigger disaster for Spawn. Here, at least their carry survives.
And it was actually Force's full duration Black Hole. Rubik did 0 damage that team fight, so he did nothing basically there. He maybe got a telekinesis off, but that's all he did there. So I thought
was on him.
It looked for a moment that this could actually be a stolen Black Hole, because I'm not gonna lie, I could not see Enigma in that team fight. There was so much stuff going on that I couldn't even see where he was. So I thought it's Rubik with that extra cast range, but it wasn't even a stolen Black Hole. Like you said, Cox was on top of him, so Rubik didn't have much of a chance. But they're gonna take a refight. They know Black Hole's on cooldown. They can fight this. They're gonna go in. They've got Norman in the front. He's got his BKB. Arrow flying in from the side. It does not seem to connect because there's only BKBs active. Skem gonna get speared onto the wall. Cox gonna be jumping into the backline onto Travis. They're gonna be chasing down Roger. Roger's gonna be dropping as well. Cox very low on HP. Does get the Sonic Wave onto Travis. Travis trying to get there with the stolen charge. Not gonna be working out for him. Armor, they're gonna be taken down. And Cox being charged again. And this time by Jikroy. You have 2 players on the side of Spawn attempting to go for charge plays. And now Skem with the bear. He's taken down a half HP. Jikroy able to get on the move again. Pota very low on mana. Norman coming in with another charge onto Marcy. Dalol about to drop, and he will be taken down. Jikroy still in the middle. He's got Skem. He's got Norman right behind him. And a 300 HP bear as well. But he's going to be able to get back onto the low ground and into the safety of the trees to TP home.
Muscle, you talked about muscle memory. Cox, there's definitely muscle memory on him. He jumped into the backlines onto the Rubik for no apparent reason, considering they didn't have the Black Hole. It's not like he needed to do it, but he did it anyways. And he did a ton of damage there with the Queen, but in the end ended up going down because of his aggression. His team might have needed him on the high ground. Still, it is another fight that Geek Fam are gonna be happy with. And Force, he is starting to work towards that refresher. He's seeing that the Rubik isn't an issue, that his Queen of Pain is always gonna be there on the job.
Oh man, Skem's bear also seems super indestructible in a way. Like, of course it's close to dying, several times, but even with the Daedalus on this Morphling, just couldn't finish it off by himself. But he can finish off heroes. He just snipes off the Mirana while the top chase was happening. So Jacroy opens up the bottom lane. They're going to have to defend this one and return back. Scam is going to continue farming, though.
Also a big change. Morphling is level 25, so he has 2 waveform charges, and he got a blink dagger. So his mobility in a fight is gonna be insane, especially if he turns into a Spirit Breaker or a Mirana currently in the ladder. But still, this is the big timing that the Morphling was gunning for. And Jacroy, we know that he can make something happen with this one.
This bear attack speed is just quite the something different, though. They've got a black hole used in the bot lane, taking down Jacroy, solo pushing the lane and getting caught for it. Travan's TP's away just before Narman finishes off the charge. He might find something else on the way. He actually spots the lull, maybe. If he had the night vision talent, he would have seen him. But he's also out of mana. No, another strike. Missed the action on bottom, but Morphling pushing all by himself and ends up getting caught by the entire team of Geek Fam, and they're pushing now.
He felt that it was his timing, and it really was, but not like that. You need your teammates. If you're completely alone, the black hole can kill you. It doesn't matter how much mobility you have. He knew that he was untouchable unless he gets black holed, but he really didn't have anyone keeping tabs on the Enigma. So a huge mistake coming out from Jacroy. Usually in Dota, when you die, when you should be at your strongest, that is a big problem because it destroys your timing.
Mars is 7 mana short from getting Arena Refresher Arena. Thankfully, he has 10 mana per second, so he's able to get both abilities off.
Has Soul Ring? Oh, he'll be able to do it.
Yeah, Soul Ring will help him do it. Look at this bear's attack speed, even without Mask of Madness. Smack, 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 smack. The pace is just nuts. 2 hits per second. Among they are going in for the first arena. Spears the Lone Druid. Lone Druid, look at the armor this guy has. He's over 60. Takes down Marcy, even with the hero by himself. Now the jump on the back line. Aghanim's Vortex onto 2. But the lane is already gone, and without the Morphling, this will happen.
Yeah, it's just dumb how much armor he has. 4 raid bands. This is the item for the Lone Druid. He doesn't care about anything else. And look at it, inside of the arena, he didn't care about anything. He just took down the Raxes. This is the strength of the Spirit Bear for him to take down things. And as we mentioned, it was right at the timing where the Morphling should have been at his strongest. Now it's up to Spawn. They need to push out the lanes. They have to go for smokes. You need to be ready with controlling at least some part of the map other than your triangle if you're ever to contest the Roshan. If GeekFam get the Roshan contested, it ends the game.
Let's take a glimpse at Enigma. He has the Aether Lens, so thank you. It always makes me happy to see an Aether Lens on the Enigma. It's just so good.
As the shard as well.
And the shard.
I think he bought it.
Shard BKB Aether Lens. So I finally predicted something correct. Spawn on the side though.
Spawn.
See what they can get here.
Enigma.
Ward, they spot the Enigma. Yeah, perfect jump here. They're going to blow him up. That's a great start for the fight. Has a buyback. He's going to be coming back. Narma with a 3-man stun with a charge. Cox going to be fighting up, but Mars is dropping low. They've got a black hole on the back line. Morphling and Marcy both caught inside. They're going to blow them up. Jacroy this time does have a buyback, but they've lost so much. At least the Storm is able to get out, but they just wanted an Enigma. They got it, but oh boy, did they pay a price for it.
Yeah. You're at that point, you're hoping that there's no buyback on the Enigma. You know, there's not much for you to hope for. It's very hard to get parts of the map so that you can secure the next Roche, and then you're going for the little plays that you can. They had the vision, they went for it. Yeah, they're going for it.
They have 35 seconds until the Mars is going to be back up. He has a refresher for another Mars arena, but he also has one coming up as he respawns. Attempt with the Savage Roar, but the bear is just ending the game by himself. Marcy has to buy back. They need to drop this bear down, and it's almost falling. The illusions will clear it out, so Jacroy given the credit for this.
Scam has a refresher, it doesn't matter. You would be like, oh, they don't have a resummon. Maybe if we kill the bear now, the fight is ours. But no, it doesn't matter because he has a refresher, so he's going to be able to pop it anyways. Very unfortunate situation for Spawn currently.
This is a very difficult situation for Spawn to come back. They're going to smoke up. No ward inside the base, but GeekFam, look at the positioning here. Standing still. They see Marcy. They see Jacroy. They're out of there.
Pota 2 is coming from the other side. He's very low on mana. What the hell is he doing?
Oh no! Oh no! What was that?
I don't know, but those illusions didn't know what was coming to them. Pota 2 really destroyed them. It does come at a cost of his life, but you know, at least something.
Comes at the cost of Roshan.
Does Scam
Aghanim's-
need an axe?
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
not, right?
Of course he does.
Why?
Just give it to him.
Why? Nah, yeah, he can't die. There's no reason for him to stay back and allow the bear to attack. He just can't die. Look at him. Without the bear form, he has 46 armor.
Yeah, you can refresh, pop another bear, teleport home, let the bear do the work.
All about exploiting the workforce, right?
Exactly. They're gonna need to buy back the storm. They're already inside the base. Skem's bear leading the charge. There we go. They need to control it. Vortex is placed down. Norman charging in, gonna catch the lull. Bulldoze will reduce the sun duration. BKB being popped as well. The arena first placed down by Mamang Daya. Arrow will miss the target, but the Ancient's already down 3k HP, down a half. They need to focus on the bear. Black Hole and Jacroy. They're finishing the game at the same time while trying to kill the Morph. Second Black Hole coming in as well, and the Ancient just falls. They held the damage dealers away for the bear to finish the game, and GeekFam 1-0.
Yeah, Scam didn't care. He was thinking for a second there once the arena came out, like, am I supposed to kill heroes? Nah, like there's no way. I have 3 bears to use here, and they can never stop me from taking down the throne. Man, that bear pushes fast. But yeah, Geek Fam, really nice performance from them. I really have to praise the way that they hunt Travis in this game. It was just amazing. And I mean, Spawn, they had their shining situations, but I think the biggest mistake I would put at was Jacroy dying with the Morphling when he should have overtaken the game. Level 25, has the Blink Dagger, has the Daedalus, should be the strongest one on the map, and he just dies in an overly aggressive position and puts his team in a position where they can't do anything and they lose to Raxus. So it's, for me, that's the biggest mistake that just allowed GeekFam for them to make it look easy towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I really like the builds on GeekFam. First of all, happy Enigma went for the build I told him to build, and he did. So we saw exactly what the Enigma can provide later on in those fights. He can stay so far away. He doesn't have any hero that kind of counters him in this game because Rubik was either bullied by the Quap or the Spirit Breaker. So he can do whatever he wants. And then we have Scam of the Lone Druid. Okay, we need to focus the bear. Or do we focus the hero? Now we're finally stacking up. We're getting damage in. Oh, Black Hole. We're screwed. What do we do here? And simple approach to fights for GeekFam. Even if Spawn Team would initiate every time, GeekFam has perfect counter initiation heroes. So the draft really works in their favor in these long games.
They knew what to do, they knew how to position to do it, and they knew exactly who their targets were. I mean, it just allows them to win. Also, I don't know if you remember that Roche fight, the reason why no one died in the black hole or they got only one hit killing the black hole is because the Queen just jumped on the Rubik. He doesn't care. He's using the ulti onto the Rubik rather than 4 heroes in the black hole because, you know, that's how you win the fight in the long run. So just beautiful.
Exactly. GeekFam taking the first game, and after a break, the final game of the day, the second game of this best of 2. We'll be back in a bit.